Yeah. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. So you were talking about paradoxes.
Yeah. I mean, let me not get too deep on this because I
Yeah.
just want to try to stick to the surface here. But
Just
can you
sticking to the
refresh me?
surface for this nigga, man.
Nah.
Fuck the
Nah.
surface, man. That's the problem. The
I
surface is the
want to get.
fucking issue, bro. Everybody trying to be so soft with everybody. Be
Oh
real.
yeah.
Tell them what it is.
Yeah. I want to get
Yeah,
beyond the
we ain't
surface, but
real
not too deep.
motherfucking shit.
Okay. So can you remind me of the context of the thread we were just talking about?
So you said
Well, you were mentioning.
I was talking about basically the court of public opinions and people being uh before I was talking about, the race thing and how it's on the individual to this, that, and the third. And no matter what your parents was taught and no matter, what you were taught, once you come of an age where you're aware of what's going on, you then have a choice and a responsibility to do what you, not something, I'm not going to say you have to do anything because you could be racist if that's what the fuck you want to do. But you have a responsibility to do something different once you know better. So,
Okay.
but I said, just us even trying to figure out another reason why somebody would be racist other than pure hatred is kind of racist because it's like you don't reciprocate that empathy with black people or
Okay.
minorities for that matter. Because if a minority is in a certain situation or you see a headline about a minority, you just believe it off top, or you say they're at it again, or you don't sit there and try to say, oh, maybe his mom, maybe he grew up in a broken home, or maybe he needed the money so he can get the food for his kids, or you don't care about all of that. You run with that headline. So
All
I
right.
made an example,
Yeah.
of dudes with the rape allegations, the Me Too shit. The headline about the dude who's accused of sexual misconduct and he was found not guilty. The not guilty verdict is never really publicized as much as the first
To get
original headline.
yeah.
Yeah, and
So
you
so
said, "Where's the justice?" And we were talking about
yeah.
people who falsely accuse people should be punished as well.
Yes. So
Yeah,
I want to cite a very specific example. This was something that
and
was
that's the
like
reason you brought up the word justice because we are talking about the
yeah.
court system and law and all of that.
Right. Now I want to talk about an example that happened. I think it was like 2 years ago. I think a lot of people remember when this happened. It was
Right.
like it was fucking terrible. I think it was in I don't know Manhattan. It was in New York. Might have been Brooklyn. Not important. But it was New York City. And there was a mom with her two children, like her son and daughter, that she just picked up from school. I don't know
Right.
how old the daughter was, but the kid was probably like I don't know, like 7 or 8. He had a backpack on, and the daughter was younger. She was just in the store, like getting them something to drink or something like that. And it was a simple interaction where they were walking out of the bodega, and a white woman was walking in, and it was like a very simple brush where like the kid like turned around while he had a backpack on, and the back of his backpack like brushed like the back of her leg when they were like walking out of the store. So the woman, she was a white woman, she instantly turned around, and reacted, saw this young black kid, and automatically assumed that he grabbed her ass to try to be inappropriate.
That's
So like
crazy.
it turned
But
into a
why?
whole it turned into a whole big scene. Now the employees, everybody rushed the woman's side, like trying to pacify the situation. But she called the police. Like,
Yeah.
ma'am, it's probably misunderstanding. Now they're trying to rationalize this woman.
She drove it home.
This was outside the store. She's
No, I'm
calling
talking
the
about the
police.
point. The point.
The point. So this is the end of the story, though. Okay, the end of the story is the police came up and they were there for like an hour or two, trying to talk to the woman, getting the report, and pretty much the mom. So this was a very traumatic incident for the mom and the children. Like the kid, like I think the boy was put in handcuffs for a minute. I don't know if he actually was arrested at that time,
He
but
can't be off of an allegation.
yo, yo, yo,
but that's
yo,
my.
look up the story. I think he might have been charged with him, right? And then
He
once he
charged, but
found,
that's not arrested.
yo, this is very dark, okay? But this happened. So it wasn't until like a week later, and everybody in the news and everybody who read this was like, yo, this kid like did this shit, right? I wasn't thinking that, but that's the way the media was portraying it. Like this kid grabbed this woman's ass, right? It wasn't. They had witnesses though. I believe they had witnesses in the store. This is what the story's fucked up. They had witnesses in the store to confirm, hey, lady, I saw the kid's backpack. He turned. His backpack touched you. So even though it was witnesses that said they saw it was the backpack touched her, She didn't give a fuck. She's like, I don't care. Y'all are lying. She said the witnesses were lying. She still pressed charges. And I think the police even told her, ma'am, if you press charges to this and you're not, they didn't say they were going to charge her with nothing. But they said, like, ma'am, if you're incorrect, brother, this could look bad for you. And it did look bad. 1 week later, they review like the security tapes and they finally find like the footage. It shows clear evidence. The kid turned around and the backpack touched her. It wasn't until like 2 weeks later. This one was like for 2 weeks, like acting like a victim. Talking about she's going to sue the mom, blah, 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 how she was violated. And for a week or two, people were talking about, hey, there was witnesses say that this didn't happen. The woman stood her ground. I don't give a fuck. This shit happened.
What did the system do? What did the law do?
But this is the end of the story. The end of the story is it took like 2 weeks. I don't know why it took 2 fucking weeks, or like a week for like the
because the system, the law. This is my point.
So here's the end of the story.
It's expedited for white people.
They played the footage, and this Karen, because she was a Karen, now got embarrassed like shit. For a week or two, she was standing her ground. He did this, and he's going to get charged.
So that's her consequence, embarrassment?
Hold on. No. She got more embarrassed. It was one of those situations where she lost her job, she lost everything.
Okay.
Now she's crying victim, like, oh, I'm not racist. No, lady. There was 4 or 5 witnesses that said they saw it was a backpack. The employee said it was a backpack. Yeah. Everybody said they saw this shit. You refuse to accept.
There was something
truth.
In her that kept wanting to be what happened.
Yes. No, this kid did it. No, this kid did it. So even though there was witnesses, even though the store employee said we saw shit, it didn't happen.
But that's how you know racism isn't real, because white people not even really.
What does this woman get?
You hear that?
Now,
shit
what did she get charged with? All she did was apologize.
They trying to convince themselves that they racist.
Oh yeah. So now the news is playing the video. She didn't apologize and say she was wrong until news played the video. She was standing her ground. Yeah, he did that shit. When they played the video.
All right, my question is this.
Oh, go ahead.
What did the law do about this?
I think they might have charged him initially. They dropped the charges.
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about for her.
I don't think.
And that's my point. And that's exactly my point.
She might have been fined. Maybe she had to go to
some kind of
classes.
That's my point.
That's my point. Yeah. No, I'm agreeing with you. Now, here's the fucking thing.
He had to go through that experience. He should be able to sue her.
Right. I think they did sue her. Maybe they should sue her, because you know what? Here's a 1 week later, 2 weeks later, they're talking about this article. They're talking about the kid is in therapy now. It's got PTSD.
Yeah, she would be paying for my therapy. But look though, white people have done this to me. Yeah. He antagonized me to the point where I hit him. Now he's the victim. I have anger issues. Yep. I need to go. My hands are violent. I need to go to jail because I'm a dangerous person to society. When in reality, who is more dangerous? The person who reacts to being taunted and picked on and bullied, or is it the person who knows the outcome of what they're doing and intends and keeps doing it to get that outcome?
There's a term for it. It's called antagonist.